Hello, nomads. I have finally prepared myself enough to chat with you about our about fundraisers. I'm sorry it's taken so long, but I'm excited to talk with you about that and really encourage our team to start doing more fundraisers. So if I have notes, so that's why I'm looking over to the side here, but I'm also going to have my computer screen up for the team page because I don't think I'll be able to see comments. So, all right, let me refresh. And if you're not able to tune in live, that's okay. Just make sure you watch this, and if you have any comments, just include them when you watch it. Cool, right? Okay, so fundraisers. Okay, so fundraisers are just like anything else. Any other party you throw. If you have one bust, like, oh, this fundraiser didn't go well, no fundraisers are going to go well for me. That's not a good attitude to have. You need to have the mentality of, okay, this one didn't work. Let's figure out why. Let's learn from this, and then we will apply our new findings to the next fundraiser, right? So don't give up on one bust because they're going to happen. I've had a couple busts, and that's okay. It happens. Just keep going. But like I said, you always want to debrief and make sure you figure out where it went wrong and how you can improve it. And feel free to brainstorm with us, and we can help you figure out how to do it better. Or what to do differently. Not necessarily better, but differently. Always make sure that you include any expenses, anything as keep the receipts for tax write-offs. And the longer you do the Scentsy business, the more tax write-offs you're going to want to have. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. Oftentimes you can use fundraisers to build up your stock by using the Hostess Rewards. So that's something to keep in the back of your nugget. And think about this. If you do a fundraiser for any organization, all those people that are reaching out through this organization, those are your contacts. Those are your future contacts. Just think of how many, I want to say, legs of contacts you're going to have when you do fundraisers. And the more you do them, the more people are going to refer others to you for fundraisers. So it's a great way to start a very positive cycle of giving back and gaining new customers. Does that make sense? So I'm going to answer a couple of questions, like how long, the types of fundraisers, how you can do them successfully, and what you should do, and other tips. So, like any party, don't extend parties or fundraisers too long because people are going to lose interest. They're just going to lose interest fast. So I would keep it 7 to 10 days, maybe 2 weeks max. Depending on what kind of fundraiser it is and what the organization is. But when you have it a quick, concise fundraiser, people are going to know they have a time crunch, a time limit, and they're going to get it done. The longer you give people, the longer they're going to wait. So if you give people 2 weeks or more, they're going to wait until that 2-week mark and really start working it. But if you know they know they only have 7 to 10 days, they're going to really start working it and raise funds for whatever cause they're raising funds for. So the types of parties we have, it's the same. So there's online and in person. And now the different ways you can do that, I should say it's not the same. Online is a great way that you can help raise funds for maybe places that aren't near to you geographically, or if it works better for them or the organization, you can have an online party because they might have customers or supporters who aren't local, even if they are local to you, that they can reach with an online party. It's also oftentimes easier for a lot of people, and you don't have to print a lot of things out. If the place is local, you will want to make sure to print out a flyer so that they can have it at their physical location so that people know there's a fundraiser happening. But you also want to make sure you utilize an event page, set it up as like a personal event on your Facebook page, and customize a banner. You want to customize as much as possible so that it's personalized. So if you're doing a fundraiser for, let's say, a youth group, you want a picture of the youth group that you're raising funds for, and then maybe a couple pictures of Scentsy products, and then a description, maybe some wording of the youth group on the picture. And then in the event description, you say why you're raising funds. Something you want to keep at the forefront is the why. You want to pull at people's heartstrings, right? So if there's not a reason to raise funds, if that's not present, then why are you raising funds, right? So when you have the why right up front, people are going to understand why you're raising funds, and they're going to feel compelled to help. So that's a great way to pull at the heartstrings, is to make sure that story, the why, is up front, especially on your social media events, your banners, and your party page. If you guys aren't utilizing your party pages on your personal website, you need to. Party pages are incredible, and you always want to make sure you have a direct link to your website posted on the event on your Facebook page, or a link on your flyers that you pass out. Always make sure you have a direct link set up so that it's easy. You want to make this as easy as possible, because when some things are hard, people aren't going to want to do it, right? So make the link accessible for everyone and customize that party page on your website. You can do the why. You can say, hey, this is a fundraiser for this youth group. This youth group is raising funds to go to camp. You can help support this fundraiser. All commissions will be going back, and this is the description that you're going to use on your party page. Does this make sense? So keep the why present and right up front, and make sure that you have it available on all areas. And you want to keep the banners the same. So if you have a banner on your Facebook event, put that banner on your party page on your website so that people see it and they're like, okay, I'm at the right place. And then you can also have your party page, when you click the picture, you can link it back to the Facebook event. So there's a couple neat tricks that we can do there. So whether or not you do it entirely online or partially online, always have that link available. So if you do it partially online, you can also do like half packet, half online. I shouldn't say half, but just part packet, part online. And so with packet fundraisers, these are especially good for larger organizations like sports groups, dance groups, graduating classes, schools. Packets are great. And some of the things that you want to include in your packets include, depending on the size of the group, at least 10 order forms. And you want to include the order form. I know it might be a little bit more expensive, so if you can't afford it, that's okay. Do a photocopy. But a reason I like to include the order form is that on the back of every order form, it has the satisfaction guarantee. So maybe if you can't afford doing a full order form on each, you can split it in two and let them know that, hey, you either have a pink copy or a white copy, and then the customer gets the copy and you get the other one. So you can split it and get a little bit more bang for your buck, but this is great because there's a satisfaction guarantee. So if you're going to do a photocopy, which is totally fine, make sure that on the flyer you include, with the information about the fundraiser, you include just a little blurb about the satisfaction guarantee so that people, if they don't have the order form, they still have that information handy. All right. And don't forget, all materials are a tax write-off. So if the organization doesn't have, a lot of people print the materials themselves and don't charge the organization. You can say, hey, once the fundraiser has gotten to this much, then we'll start raising funds to help cover the cost of the materials. Or you can say, I'll pay half, and then we can raise funds for the other half and then start raising funds back. But all the funds, if you raise, reverse, if you're planning on donating 100% of your commission and 100% of the materials, it's all a tax write-off. So don't forget that. It's a tax write-off for materials. So depending on whether or not you can do that and what the organization is, tax write-off for materials, and you don't charge them. If it's a PTA or some other place that has access to a budget, maybe you could say, hey, just go to them and say, are you able to print out the flyers? Because then I can donate more back to your organization if I don't have those printing costs. And that's appealing because if they do have the budget for that, then they can print those things, and it's a little bit less stress on you, and it just makes it easier. So if you're able to talk with them and be upfront and approach them about that, say, hey, I really want to donate more to your cause, to your organization. Are you able to print these things? If so, great, you asked. If not, that's okay. Do what you're planning to do from the get-go, right? So anyway, in the packets, 10-ish order forms. The extra order forms, leave those with the person who is in charge of the fundraiser, who your liaison is, just so they can have stuff. If they need to make photocopies, if they run out, they can do that. Maybe 1 to 2 catalogs, depending on if it's a full catalog fundraiser. And then those product sheets are amazing. You get a huge bang for your buck. So include like 10 to 15 of those product sheets for them to just pass out, leave around, and also include a marked up, a mock order form. So when you have an order form, make sure it's filled out Jane Doe, 123 Main Street, city, state, phone number, email address. Then you have all the contact information. So if you have any questions, you can get a hold of them, and you can do proper follow-ups. That's huge. You want to make sure you do a proper follow-up, because this customer could lead to more customers or more fundraisers or more parties. So always make sure you leave a mock order form so that they know how to fill it out, so you're not left with any questions, and you have that, you can do your proper follow-ups. Personal flyer. Always personalize. Like I said, not only with your face, make sure your face is on everything though, so that if they have any questions, they know who they're coming to. But put your face on everything, and put the information for the fundraiser. The why, the how, the when, if it's an online versus a full catalog, and if it's an online and catalog, make sure you include the link to the Facebook page, and say something like, friends and family out of town, you can still support this fundraiser by going to this link, and just make sure the student's name, or whoever, if somebody's getting credit for it, their name goes in line 2 of the address. And so if there's a competition or something with the school, that they can get credit for their part of the fundraiser. Or some people do, I know there are organizations like students who go on trips. They're earning money to go on trips. They have to earn their own money. So if it's a fundraiser all for the group, but each student has to be individualized, that's a great way. If family and friends from out of town are ordering online, they can say, hey, this is for Sally. So Sally Jones on address line 2, to make sure that she gets credit for those sales. Okay. So a lot of people wonder about the full catalog versus the single product. So that's like a scent circle, a buddy clip, etc. It's all going to depend on the individual organization. So make sure you're always individualizing things. You are contacting each organization or person or cause personally to find out what works best for them. Sit down with the person you're going to be working with. So if it's a single person, figure out if the full catalog is going to work best for them, or if it's a larger organization like a full student body, a single item fundraiser is probably going to be best because of the quantity of people. So just sit down and figure out what's going to work best for that organization, and how to get them the most bang for their buck and earn their cause the most money. So like I said, approach each differently. When you personalize it, when you say, hey, I'm looking into your organization to donate money, or I want to donate money to your organization, I would love to do a fundraiser. How can we do this to work best for you guys? So just always contact them personally. Another thing is, if you think that organization might want more than 25 to 30%, depending on your month, you can tell them, hey, we can donate X percent. Especially if you do a single item fundraiser, that's going to be the best for doing that, at least 30%, because if you get to that $2,000 in commissions, that's going to get you to that 30% pay raise for the month. So always start off, if they need more money back to their organization, single item fundraisers are probably going to work the best. And so something that you might not know, you can charge whatever you want for our products. Don't make it a habit of like, oh, $3 bars here, $2 scent circles there. But what I mean by that is you can charge more when it comes to fundraisers. So you can charge $7 for a $5 bar. Don't do that on a regular basis either. But if it's for a fundraiser, people don't mind paying a little bit more for a product that they know they're going to love when the extra money goes to a good cause. So you can automatically say, hey, $2 from every bar purchase goes back to the organization, and if we hit X amount, $3 will go back, or whatever percentage you want to work out with your calculations. But then that covers the cost of the bar, and you can donate immediately to back, and then when you do your own combine and save on your end, then you can donate more back, because each one is still paying $5, but when you do the combine and save, you can donate an additional however much you want. I hope that makes sense. If it doesn't, comment below and I will explain it differently. I will figure out a different way to explain it to make more sense. So it's, it's easier to approach organizations when you can donate more for them. And I've heard of other companies that have similar products that offer up to 50%. So if somebody comes back with, well, X company with similar products will give me 50% of our sales, you can say, I'll give you 50% too. And then you just adjust how much you charge for each product. So, and you always have the benefit of also, if it's a similar product, yeah, it's similar, but we're safer. So you have the same price plus the safer product on top of that. So it's an added bonus that people are going to want to take advantage of. So on your workstation, if you guys don't utilize your workstation, your training center, and YouTube, I highly encourage you to do so. Those 3 resources are amazing and necessary and so helpful. So your workstation and your training center has an amazing editable and printable form. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I've got some information crossed off. So this is what it looks like. It's blank, or by editable, I mean you can change whatever fragrances are offered. So this is for a single item fundraiser. Specifically, this one's the Scent Circle, but you can do any single item fundraiser you want, and you can list the fragrances offered. Usually people just do 20 individual fragrances, but I changed it up for my last fundraiser. But it has all of the information, like the student name, their grade, your contact information, and how much will be donated up in the corner, who it's for. So this is a great resource to use. So up here, what I did differently this time was I chose 15 fragrances instead of 20, and then 3 bundles. So if sometimes people don't like to think about, oh gosh, I don't know what this fragrance actually smells like. I have listed the descriptions, but sometimes they're just like, I don't know what I want. Just do the top sellers. The top sellers works for me. And so they will order just the top sellers bundle, and that takes the thinking out of the process. So that's one less thing they have to worry about. So I offered 3 bundles. I offered the top sellers, the foodie bundle. So it's a lot of our bakery fragrances, cafe, and then the manly bundle. So just our manly fragrances. And those went over really well. So that's a great resource, printable, editable, all through the training center. So if you do a quick search in the training center, you're going to be amazed at what pops up for single item fundraisers or just fundraisers in general. And so many Scentsy consultants have YouTube videos on how they have done fundraisers. So YouTube Scentsy Fundraiser, and you're going to come up with so much information. A lot of consultants have also shared the documents they use, so that's a really neat thing. Also, I will upload the blank form I just showed you, and I will also upload what's essentially a packet. So it's kind of like a... Oh, okay, there we go, guys. Sorry for the delay. I had a network connection error, so I'm going to try and hurry up so we don't have that issue again. Okay, so editable and printable forms I will upload to our team page, and there is essentially a hostess packet, a fundraising packet that I'll upload as well. You'll just have to change your information. But it's an amazing resource that is like pretty much ready for you. Adjust to what the fundraiser is and what kind of fundraiser you're doing, and it'll be awesome. Okay, so another couple of types of one product fundraisers are, besides the scent circles, are buddy clips. You can just do like a warmer and bars bundle. So you can choose one warmer and let them choose between like 15 different bars, and you can do a combine and save bundle for them for X amount. And then you can do personally run fundraisers. So there's online, full catalog, and packet fundraisers, and then personally run fundraisers. So that can be like a cause that's near and dear to your heart that you're raising funds for. Some people even do just the cause products. So when we had Bernie the Buddy fly back, some of his money went to go to Autism Speaks. So people were doing Bernie the Buddy fly, and sometimes people even match the funds so that the money that is already going back to the organization, cool, that's awesome, but I'm going to donate on top of that, and that's just your commissions that you're going to add for the fundraiser. So, and you can look up different days, like you can utilize a National Autism Speaks Day when we had Bernie the Buddy fly, or breast cancer awareness in October. You can utilize that and do fundraisers for that if that's near and dear to your heart. Just find those causes that work for you, and if you're going to do a personally run fundraiser. But another thing you have to think about is, where am I going to find these fundraisers? You need to actively be looking for them and seeking them out. Make sure your customers know that you love to give back. A fun status to post is, like, if you had an extra $500 to donate back to an organization, a group, or somebody in need, who would you donate it to? So then your friends on your Facebook profile are going to be commenting back, and you're going to get all these ideas going around in your head, like, okay, this is cool. I didn't know this organization existed, or I forgot about this one. I'll contact somebody I know who works for this organization or volunteers and see if you can start a fundraiser that way. Yeah, it's just like ideas and leads that you might not have had before. Your friends and family are going to be able to help you with. And the more you do fundraisers, the more you're going to be approached by other people who hear about you doing fundraisers to do fundraisers for them. Does that make sense? I said fundraisers a lot in that one sentence. And the worst you can do, ask. And if people say no, then nothing lost, right? But you're at least offering to do a fundraiser for them and help whatever organization or cause raise money, because everybody needs money, right? So all you're doing is offering, and if they say, no, this isn't the kind of fundraiser we want to do, cool. You find somebody who wants to do a fundraiser with you, who's going to work for it, and it's going to work for their organization. So another fun thing to do is, if you have a place you frequent, like a vet clinic or an animal shelter, you can say, hey, oh gosh, words are hard. Sorry. I'm like, whew, lots of things to say, and I'm so excited. So if you have a place you frequent, like one of those, an animal shelter, you can say, hey, I would love to set up a warmer here, and I would love to give back money if you guys collect orders. I'd like to give back a portion of the money from those orders. Can I set up a warmer here and leave order forms here, and we can collect orders and get money for you guys? And if you approach them with the why versus just, hey, I come here a lot, can I set up my warmer? Like, there needs to be something in it for them too. So if you're going to give money back to them, they're going to be more likely to let you set up their warmer. They're going to be more likely to push for orders so they can get money back. And then you're going to have new contacts and new information. So you can have more leads on, potential people who want to join your team, potential hosts, potential customers. So there's a lot to say. There's a lot for going into a place that you frequent, into an organization, and working hand in hand with them, because if they want the money, they're going to work for it. They're going to be excited about it. So that's another way you can work fundraisers, and even have a continual fundraiser going for somebody or something, someplace. Keep your eyes out on social media too. If you see somebody who's personally having a hard time financially, who is struggling with the death of somebody, or a diagnosis of some sort, a tragic disease, don't be afraid to go to those people and say, hey, I'm watching your journey. I'm keeping you in my thoughts, and I'd love to do a fundraiser for you. Don't be afraid of the no's. If they say no, that's okay. But if you make it personal and let them know that you're watching their story and you care about them, that goes a long way. You're paying attention to their lives, and that means a lot to people. So if they say no, that's okay. But if they say yes, you have the potential to help them out and be a part of their journey. Does that make sense? So that's a really great way to do that. And don't be afraid to raise funds and do that personal fundraiser for causes that are close to your heart. Danny is doing a fundraiser for the Salt Lake Animal Shelter right now. That's where she adopted her two fur babies, and it's a place that is near and dear to her heart. So she is doing a fundraiser to give money back to them, because she knows it has such an impact on a lot of people, including herself. So find places that are near and dear to you, and if you can, and encourage people to refer you. So if you have friends who maybe don't need more Scentsy, maybe they just hosted, maybe they're just a supporter of you, an encourager, ask them if they wouldn't mind sending your link. Like, if they know somebody who loves Scentsy and loves the Salt Lake Animal Shelter, say, hey, if you could share my link, that'd be great. And maybe they'll say something like, hey, my other friend, my girlfriend, my Scentsy gal, is doing a fundraiser for Salt Lake Animal Shelter. If you are inclined to give back and need some more Scentsy in your life, here's the link. I know they would appreciate your support. And so it's referrals that also help build your business and help spread the word that you're doing fundraisers and that you love to give back and you're a community-driven individual. So that helps. Another thing I'm going to potentially do in May, maybe June, is a team challenge. I'm going to figure out a fun way that we can do maybe a fundraiser as a group or figure out ways to do fundraisers individually. I'm still working out the details, but a team challenge so that we can all work toward one goal and donate back to something. There's also ways that you can do a buddy drive. Those are hugely successful. So if there's a hospital or a local, like a women's battered shelter or something that needs toys or buddies for kids, you can do a buddy drive and say that, everybody donated will go to this organization or this hospital, and the scent packs will go to the nurses or the parents, because oftentimes kids can't have the scented things if in the hospitals. So you can say, hey, we're giving back, and you can even say we're donating X amount back to the hospital as well. In addition to buying the buddy, we're also going to be donating money back to the hospital or to the shelter to help with whatever they need. So you want to make sure that you understand, just like each party, each fundraiser is going to be different. Their focus is going to be different, and you need to approach them differently, and you need to be prepared with multiple options. So an online fundraiser might work really well for some groups, but a packet fundraiser might work great for others. So you need to make sure that you have, all these little nuggets of information up your sleeve. So when you approach them and say, hey, I would love to do this kind of fundraiser, and they're like, that might not work for us, you can say, you know what, here's another great option that I think might really work for your organization. And like I said earlier, work closely with the leader of the organization and coach them like you would any other host. Because if they know their why, if they know what they need to do to raise money for their organization, then they are going to be more willing to actually go out, do the work, and help raise the funds for their organization. Some people talk about doing awards for the fundraiser. It's not necessary. I'd say 80% of people don't do awards for their fundraisers, and you can if you want. If you feel like it's going to motivate and drive sales, absolutely do it. You can use those hostess rewards accrued from that party to get those awards, or you can do gift cards as an award and keep the receipts for a tax write-off. But don't feel obligated to do awards ever. Don't feel obligated. You are giving your time, your energy, your commission, and most people won't expect you to give a prize. So that money doesn't need to come out of your pocket if you don't want it to. So 80% of people don't do that for their fundraisers. 20% of the time they might. Gauge if you think it will help motivate and incentivize people, and if not, don't do it. You're helping them raise funds. You're using your energy, your time, and you're giving your commission. So it's not necessary. And make sure your personality is everywhere. Personality is key. Make sure you are all over the place. Make sure that your picture is everywhere. If you're doing an online fundraiser and somebody places an order, send them a personal message and say, thank you so much for your order. Do you mind if I shout you out on the event page and say a big thank you? And never do it without their okay. Because some people don't. It's a personal thing. I'm not going to want everybody to know I made a personal order for a company last night, and I don't want it to be blasted all over a page. Does that make sense? So make sure you get their approval first before you thank them for their purchase. And then friend request them, because that might lead to more contacts, more leads, more orders, a future and consistent customer. So keep that personal connection and make that relationship. Let me see what else. Like I said about the flyers earlier, make them all personalized toward the organization, not only with your face, but if it's a youth group, have the youth group picture on the flyer, or what the youth group is about and why they're raising funds, and pull out those heartstrings like we talked about earlier. I want to make sure all of my points have been covered. The hostess coaching again. Seriously, hostess coaching, just as with home parties, online parties, Same with fundraisers. It's imperative that you host as coach so that they understand why they're doing what they're doing, how they're going to do it, and that will motivate them. So you can do whatever specials you want. Like I said, you can do a bar special where they're $7 each instead of $5, and $2 automatically goes back. Or you can do a 6-pack of scent circles for $20, and either $5 or $7 goes back toward the organization. There are so many different ways you can do it, and we can totally brainstorm those. But I hope this has helped you with a list of ideas on the kinds of fundraisers you can do, how to contact people, and if you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments, and we'll chat soon. All right, Nomad Tribe, let's get fundraising. It's your move.